Okay, a point A is placed in different quadrants, that is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Then its front view and top view position with respect to the x-y. So vertical plane and horizontal plane. So this is the first quadrant. Above the HP and in front of the VP. This one is the above the HP and this part is the in front of the VP, first quadrant. So if point A is in the first quadrant, that is above the HP and in front of the VP, then its front view is on the vertical plane. So this is the front view of a point A, that is A dash, and top view of the point you are looking from the top. This is the position of the observer. Then it will be on the horizontal plane here, A, top view of a point. And after rotation of the horizontal plane clockwise, rotation of this horizontal plane in clockwise direction, so you get the position of a top view of a point A is below the XY line. So this point, this intersection is the XY line, and you will get the top view below the XY line. So A dash is above the XY line and A is below the XY line. Point in the first quadrant, front view above the XY line, top view below the XY line. Okay. Now we will see the point is in the second quadrant. So vertical plane, horizontal plane, and point is above the HP and behind the VP. Okay, above the HP and behind the VP. So this part is the behind the VP. So point is in the second quadrant, and the point is in the second quadrant. You are looking towards the point from the front side. So observer. So this is the observer position. This is the point, that is the object, and this is the plane. So observer, plane, and object. Observer, plane, and object. If the point is in the first quadrant, you can see here the observer, object, and plane. Observer, object, and plane. And difference is the plane is in between the object and observer. So the point is in the second quadrant. So now point is in the second quadrant, that is above the HP, behind the VP, and the projection of a point on the vertical plane for the front view is A dash. And you can see this A dash, that is front view of the point, is above the XY line. So if the point is above the HP, this front view is above the XY line for the first quadrant as well as the second quadrant. Point is above the HP, point is above the HP. Here is also point is above the HP, and its front view is above the XY line. Its front view is above the XY line. Now for the top view of a point, point is behind the VP. So here point is behind the vertical plane, behind the vertical plane. So here observer is here, plane is here, and point is behind the vertical plane. So its projection is on the horizontal plane, and after rotation of the horizontal plane in clockwise direction. So this is the rotation moment of the horizontal plane. After rotating, you will get the top view of a point A. Top view of a point A is above the XY line. So what is the difference between the point in the first quadrant and point in the second quadrant? Front view is above the XY line and top view is below the XY line for the point is in the first quadrant. And if the point is in the second quadrant means front view is above the XY line and top view is also above the XY line after rotation of the horizontal plane in the clockwise direction. Okay. Now point is in the third quadrant. Third case is point is in the third quadrant. So this one is the vertical plane, this one is the horizontal plane, and point is below the HP and behind the VP. Below the HP and behind the VP. So projection of a point A, again point is in the third quadrant, observer, plane, and object. Observer, plane, and object. Projection of a point A, front view is below the XY line. So this is the XY line intersection of HP and VP, and its projection, that is the front view, is below the XY line. its top view is on the HP and this horizontal plane rotating in the clockwise direction. So this top view projection will come on the upper side of this XY line. After rotation, you will get the top view of a point A above the XY line. So comparing to the first quadrant, front view is above the XY line, top view is below the XY line. That is the first quadrant. And the third quadrant is front view is below the XY line, top view is above the XY line, opposite to the first quadrant. Okay. So point in the first quadrant, front view above the XY line, top view below the XY line. Point in the second quadrant, both views are above the XY line. And point in the third quadrant, front view below the XY line, top view above the XY line. Okay. Now we are moving towards the point in the fourth quadrant. So point in the fourth quadrant means below the HP, and behind, sorry, in front of the VP. Below the HP and in front of the VP. So point in the fourth quadrant. So front view is again below the XY line and top view is on the horizontal plane. After rotation of the horizontal plane in the clockwise direction, the position of a top view is also below the XY line. And comparing to the second quadrant, front view, top view above the XY line. For the fourth quadrant, front view, top view below the XY line.